Good evening. It is 18th of September 2025 and you're just in time for GBS News at 9. I'm Ibrahim Said and our sign language interpreter tonight is Alan Kiama. Remember, here every headline carries a story, every story carries a truth, and every truth carries a voice. We have a lot lined up for you, and on to our first story. Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki was a host of Embu health workers at his residential home in Irunduni, Tharaka Nithi County. It is here that Kindiki outlined the importance of giving the Kenya Kwanza administration a second term, stating that Ruto's opponents have no solution to challenges that Kenyans are facing, as Davis Karani now reports.
Kithure Kindiki has defended Ruto's administration based on several projects and developments that the administration has managed to deliver to the country since taking over leadership, and through that, making his clarion call to Kenyans on two-term.
Na kwa sababu Rais Ruto na serikali yake tunaendelea kuboresha bei ya kahawa, bei ya maziwa, bei ya majani chai. Na kwa sababu hiyo kazi bado haijafika mahali tungetaka ifike. Bei ya kahawa tungetaka iende juu hata zaidi. Bei ya majani chai iendelee kuongezeka. Bei ya maziwa iendelee kuongezeka. Kwa sababu hiyo kazi bado ni lazima tuendelee nayo. Ndio tunasema two-term.
Embu County Governor Cecil Mbarire also reassured the DP on full support that their administration is enjoying in the Mount Kenya region, that they are only hated by one individual whom she was keen not to mention.
Kindete two-term, muko hapo, vaune vomure, na nataka kuambia kutoka Embu, Tharaka Nithi, mpaka Meru, all the leaders wako nyuma ya Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki na William Ruto. Isipokuwa mmoja tu, hiyo region yote ya Mount Kenya, only one.
In response to complaints raised by the opposition against the Kenya Kwanza administration, Kindiki also stated that the opposition is not ready to provide solutions to Kenyans, and instead, they keep on complaining and poking holes to an exemplary performing administration.
Two-term ya William Ruto sio two-term ya bure. Ni ile ya masoko 12 anajenga, two-term atujenge ifike 30. Two-term hiyo barabara 5 tunaanza kujenga saa hii, two-term tujengewe zingine 5 sifike 10 by 2032. Ama namna gani? Hiyo ndio two-term. Watu hawatuelewi, wanafikiri tunasema two-term hivyo. Ni two-term ni barabara, two-term ni barabara na stima na maji. Ama namna gani jameni? Kwa hivyo nyinyi kama CHPs, vile nimesema, nikimalizia niseme ya kwamba you are the foot soldiers of the Universal Health Coverage Program.
Tuseme asante sana kwa His Excellency the President William Samoei Ruto. Tuseme asante sana kwa Senator wetu anamuita Professor. Kwa Professor alikuwa mdosi wangu wakati tulikuwa tunatafuta kura. Nilikuwa chief agent wako wa President Embu County.
Davis Karani for GBS News.
Away from that, President William Ruto says the university education crisis has been resolved, but lecturers across Kenya remain on strike over delayed payment. Speaking at a national church conference in Nairobi, Ruto claimed the sector is now stable. Meanwhile, staff at Technical University of Mombasa says the government has failed to honor key agreements. Lecturers and university staff across Kenya entered the second day of a nationwide strike, demanding payment of 10.5 billion Kenya shillings in salary arrears tied to 2 collective bargaining agreements. The industrial action has disrupted learning in over 40 public universities just weeks into the new academic calendar.
Na hii imekuwa ndio hali ya serikali, hawasikii lugha yoyote mpaka watu waimbe, waache kufanya kazi na sisi tuko tayari, tutawapatia kile wanachotaka. Kazi leo hatufanyi, madarasani watu hawarudi, maofisini watu hawatafanya kazi mpaka ile wakati wizara ama rais, manake pia tunajua rais yuko Mombasa. Twaomba sana asikie hichi kilio. Sisi hatuna haja ya kuacha kazi, manake tunahurumia paka wale wanafunzi wetu, lakini hatuna namna kwa sababu serikali imezoea kupigiwa kelele. Walimu wa vyuo vikuu na wafanyikazi wa vyuo vikuu walikuwa wanachukuliwa daraja sahihi na mbunge na mtu mwingine, lakini kwa wakati huu wa sasa tumewekwa sawa sawa, sijui na mfano wa nani, manake sioni huko wengine kama wao wanagoma kama sisi.
While attending the Evangelical Alliance of Kenya's 50th Jubilee Celebration Conference in Nairobi, President Ruto stated that education sector is running smoothly and that his administration has stabilized public universities, which he said were insolvent when he took office. His remarks comes amid mounting pressure from union representing academic staff.
That 23 universities in Kenya, public universities, had been declared insolvent. We have sorted out the challenges we had in our university education. We now have a student-centered financing model, and our education is again looking up.
At the Technical University of Mombasa, lecturer says the government has delayed the second phase of the 2021 to 2025 CBA payment, amounting to 2.73 billion Kenya shillings due in July.
Kulikuwa na makubaliano kuwa ifikapo Julai mwaka huu CBA ya sako ya mwaka wa 2025-29 itaanzishwa na ikamilishwe kabla mwaka ya serikali kukamilika. Mpaka leo tulipeana yetu, waende waangalie, alafu waseme ni nini wanaweza tupatia. Mpaka leo hawajaregesha, na yetu tulipeana tangu mwezi wa 3. Leo tuko mwezi wa 9. Sio ni kutuchezea shere, na tutakubali.
Union officials insist the strike will continue until the full amount is paid, adding that negotiation can only resume once the government meets its financial obligations. Reporting for GBS TV, I'm Ibrahim Said. In a security concern, police in Narok have today arrested 2 suspects who are accused of misquandering as Masai Mara University students and stealing from their peers. The suspects, who allegedly targeted learners around the campus, are said to have been behind a series of theft cases that left many students without their mobile phones and other valuables. Here are the details.
Narok Central Sub-County Commander John Momanyi said one of the suspects was rescued from mob justice near Eagles Junction, just a few meters from the university, before being taken into custody. The suspect later led police officers to his residence, where another suspect was arrested, and several stolen mobile phones were recovered. Students who identified their missing phones narrated how gadgets had mysteriously disappeared from their rooms, saying they had left them charging overnight, but woke up to find them gone.
Our officers, of course, responded to the scene, and on arrival, they found one young man who was being subjected to mob injustice. Of course, the officers rescued the suspect and rushed him to Narok County Referral Hospital for treatment. Later on, it was established that the young man or the suspect was committing crimes of conning, especially targeting university students, the first years who have just joined the university, by stealing their phones.
Among those who recovered their devices was Brenda Mukali, who praised the police for tracing her phone that had been missing for a month. Former student leader Jelly Rollins appealed to officers to intensify efforts and recover 2 other phones that remained untraced. Police confirmed that one of the suspects received hospital treatment for injuries sustained before his discharge.
The comrades, we have found 3 phones for these comrades. But we are still lacking like 2. We have only found the cover. We are asking the police to help us so that this comrade to get the remaining phone. And lastly, I just want to appreciate the police. The response was good. It was very fast. And I have seen that ever since we talked, the security even around the university is improving.
The two suspects will be arraigned in court, where they will face theft-related charges as investigations continue. Molly Ronu, GBS News.
And that story takes us for our very first break here at GBS News at 9. Do keep your feedback streaming into all our social media platforms at GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. Stay tuned.
Hello, my name is Nyabio. I'm from Mahanim. Call this school a good school because the second my mom saw it, she saw it was Christian-based. And when I see Christian-based, that's what the character my mother wants from me. And I like the sports that we play for PE. Like sometimes we play table tennis, we can play football, we match, and on Fridays we have games. And we verse the teachers in football. And this is why I think this school is the best school your children can go to.
But what is the problem? The problem, people don't want to hear the voice of Jesus, and they don't want to live through the voice of Jesus. But most of the time, people are living their life of struggling. The people who died before receiving Jesus Christ, the people who died in sin, those people, they will go to the judgment, they will go to the fire, and those people will say that they are dead because they will face the second death, which is the hellfire. People without knowing this, people think that, no, I should do something. No, I need to do something. Why? Because they don't know exact heart of God. They don't know exact will of God. And through this, God allowed His goodness. God allowed the problems in our life. And when God allowed this goodness leads us to
everywhere. GBS.
Welcome back, and thank you for keeping it locked here at GBS News at 9. Now, hundreds of residents turned up at Mahanim Hospital for a free medical camp organized in partnership with Good News Medical Volunteers and Good News Mission. The two-day camp in its first day offered a wide range of services from laboratory tests and consultation to dental care and mindset training, all at no cost. Susan Nganga now takes us through how the event unfolded.
It was an early start at Mahanim Hospital as residents from different neighborhoods arrived for a free medical camp. By mid-morning, the waiting tents were already full, with patients queuing patiently for their turn. Inside the hospital, doctors and volunteers were stationed in different departments, offering a wide range of services.
Currently, we are having our medical camp at Mahanim Hospital. Partners with Good News Medical Volunteers. So currently, we have already gotten more than 500 patients. And the most common case is H. pylori, UTI. We have like 2 hernia cases and pregnancy.
And because of the wide range in age, we also have a wide range of disorders or diseases that people came with, ranging all the way from pneumonia to arthritis. And an interesting point is that a lot of the patients that have come in with chronic conditions like diabetes and hypertension. And so we've seen a good number of patients suffering from diabetes and hypertension, but we've also seen some communicable diseases like amoeba, typhoid, and pneumonia.
Expectant mothers also received attention, while children were examined at the Well Baby Clinic. Ultrasound scans were among the most sought-after services. For some patients, it was the first time they were able to undergo the test. Others said it gave them clarity on long-standing health concerns.
I came at Mahanim Medical Camp today. Their medicals are very good. I came for ultrasound na wamenihudumia vizuri. Even the doctors, the nurses were very good. Na I appreciate them for that. I can just say thank you and they continue like that.
Dentists, meanwhile, treated toothaches and extraction.
But nilikuwa na shida ya meno, nimekuja nikang'olewa. Nimeona service iko poa, sasa nasikia vizuri. At least nimeng'olewa hata sijasikia uchungu na natarajia uponyaji zaidi ya hapo.
I'm not yet through, but according to the way things are moving, things are well arranged. There's nothing wrong. Things are orderly. And I'm so much impressed with the way things are conducted.
The pharmacy was equally busy, with patients receiving prescribed medication at no cost. Beyond treatment, the organizers also included mindset training sessions. Here, residents were encouraged to focus on positive living and resilience, a reminder that health is not only physical, but also mental.
The purpose of this camp was to bring people together and encourage them and help them in whichever areas they need. And also we offer consultation in case people want consultation. And we're just teaching them about how Jesus took away their sins and how they are free so that they can be healed both their bodies and their hearts. Because spiritually, for you to be happy, you have to be healthy both spiritually and body-wise.
As patients laughed, many carried more than just medicine. They spoke of relief and of gratitude for a camp that brought essential care within reach of ordinary families.
So nilikuwa interested kwa sababu niko na shida, niko na uvimbe kwa mkono wangu. So nikaona kwa sababu nimeambiwa na nitaka kudhibitisha kama nitasaidika, nikaamua niamke mapema nirauke nije nitafute usaidizi. So nimekuja hapa na nimepata wakiwa na urafiki wa ajabu kwa sababu wakati nimeingia kwanza nimekaribishwa vizuri, nimefunzwa hadi neno, nimetiwa moyo na nimeingia kule ndani pia nimepimwa, na baada ya kupimwa nimedhibitisha kwamba huo uvimbe ni wa kawaida tu. Kwa hivyo nimetoka hapa nikiwa nimeridhika kwamba sina tatizo, kwa sababu nilikuwa na wasiwasi labda naweza kuwa na kitu kama kansa ama shida nyingine, lakini kwa kweli baada ya kupimwa na kufanyiwa scanning nimepatikana kwamba uvimbe nilionao ni wa kawaida tu, lakini nimepewa madawa, nikaambiwa kwamba niende nimeze madawa ambazo ni painkiller.
For Mahanim Hospital, working together with Good News Medical Volunteers and Good News Mission, this was about opening doors to healthcare and giving back to the community. Susan Nganga, GBS News, Nairobi.
Indeed, a good news from Good News Mission. Now, President William Ruto today graced the 50th Jubilee Celebration Conference of the Evangelical Alliance of Kenya in Nairobi. The head of state underscored the importance of faith in leadership and challenged Kenyans to rise above mediocrity in building the nation.
Addressing the gathering, President William Ruto said his journey has been defined by faith, even when it has brought him challenges.
I walk by faith. Many walk by sight. They say, we have not seen. So that's the disconnect sometimes I do have, because it takes time for people to see. Slowly and surely, the missions, the people who run hospitals are coming around. They were complaining SHA is not working. They graduated and said, yes, it's working, but.
He further challenged leaders and citizens alike, saying, we have wasted time making peace with mediocrity and working with average. It's time we join hands and transform Kenya.
We have wasted a lot of time making peace with mediocrity, working with the average. when God wants us to be excellent. We need not borrow left, right, and center. We need to organize, mobilize our own resources, and transform our nation. And it is possible for us to do this in our lifetime. And I want to ask you as leaders, as Christian leaders, to work with us so that we can get this country to the next level. I am very confident about the future of this nation.
On their part, church leaders cast a bold vision for the future. Bishop Philip Kitoto reminded Christians that the world today is in great need of Christ. Reverend Nyadega emphasized that the alliance remain committed to its mission.
We have a world that is in need of Christ. Over 1,000 unreached people groups in Africa. They say that East Africa has the largest of that. And our desire is, in the next 10 years, to double the number of evangelical movement here in Kenya.
Our vision is as clear as it's presented, a movement of disciple-making churches impacting society. That's what we aspire to achieve. And then we have a firm mission. Mission statement, EAK exists to unite and equip evangelical clergy to succeed in their discipleship mandate.
Reporting for GBS TV, I'm Paul M. Minor.
Now, shifting gears, the Kirinyaga County government is expanding clean and reliable water access through 42 new projects across all 20 wards, expected benefit more than 30,000 residents this financial year. The program also invested in environmental conservation and climate resilience under the Financing Locally Led Climate Action Program. Here are the details.
Kirinyaga County Governor Anne Waiguru said the initiative included drilling and solar powering boreholes, extending pipe networks, installing water tanks, and rehabilitating intakes to ensure households, schools, and farms had reliable water supply. In the 2024-2025 financial year, the county completed 37 water projects, among them 6 new boreholes. According to County Executive Committee Member for Environment, Water and Irrigation James Kinyoa, the ongoing programs eased water shortages and boosted agricultural productivity.
Provision of adequate water for domestic and irrigation use has been a priority in our water department. In the last year, we have undertaken about 30 water projects across the wards. These include the provision of pipes and fittings, construction of boreholes, micro-tunneling, fitting of solar systems, construction of water storage tanks and intakes, and lining of canals and furrows.
At Kamushege Primary School in Gadhigiri Ward, a borehole served 420 learners, while more than 700 households in Bahati and Kamushege villages gained direct access to clean water. Residents previously fetched water from canals using donkeys, but the supply of taps at home reduced the burden and encouraged thriving kitchen gardens. The county also distributed 20 water tanks of 10,000 liters each to community groups, promoting rainwater harvesting and household food security.
We have a population of 420 learners, and we thank the county government for the provision of this borehole. We have been having learners missing school because of issues related with water contamination. We had no safe water for drinking, and the learners had a problem of bilharzia because of there's so many snails.
County government will continue prioritizing water development to improve health, promote farming, and ensure every Kirinyaga resident enjoys a dignified life. Molly Rono, GBS News.
And with that, it is time for us to take a short break. Keep your feedback streaming into all our social media platforms at GBS TV Africa. The SMS line is 21144. We'll be right back.
confidence and body image. Confidence and body image is what we'll be talking about today. So I've always been told I'm too short to model.
Welcome back. Now, Sierra Leone's President Julius Maada Bio has become the first leader of the West African bloc to visit a member of the Chilean Alliance of States in a move analysts say signals a turning point in relation. Bio, who took over the chairmanship of ECOWAS in June, met Tuesday with Burkina Faso's junta leader Captain Ibrahim Traore at the presidential palace in Koluba. According to Sierra Leone State House, Bio committed to fostering closer ties and cooperation between ECOWAS and the Sahel Alliance during the one-day visit, where he vowed to make sure that peace returns to Burkina Faso.
Finally realized that the Sahel countries won't come back, and now their approach is to cooperate, to accept, this division, and just to make it work for daily life of millions of people, so people can still travel, work in other countries. Goods can continue to be traded. They've accepted it now. There won't be any talk more from ECOWAS for the Sahel countries to come back. So, in a way, the Sahel military regimes won. I mean, they got everything they wanted. They always wanted to keep the, trade privileges, that they could import, export goods, that their citizens can move around. And ECOWAS has realized they can't force them to come back, and kind of offer peace. So these were the most optimist, most upbeat comments from ECOWAS we've seen so far.
In another story, Donald Trump has hailed the so-called special relation between United States and Britain, describing his historic second state visit as one of the highest honors of his life. The president paid a glowing tribute to King Charles amid a day of rare British pageantry, even as thousands of protesters in London voiced their anger over his visit.
President Trump is at Windsor Castle, and the British royal family has been rolled out as diplomats.
In renewing our bond tonight, we do so with unshakable trust in our friendship and in our shared commitment to independence and liberty. Therefore, as we celebrate this unparalleled partnership, allow me to propose a toast to President Trump and the First Lady.
We're like two notes in one chord, or two verses of the same poem, each beautiful on its own, but really meant to be played together. The bond of kinship and identity between America and the United Kingdom is priceless and eternal.
Earlier, the president enjoyed a carriage procession through the grounds of Windsor and inspected the guards. And knowing how much Trump loves superlatives, was given the largest military welcome for any state visitor in British history. President Trump brings with him tech titans who have promised to invest $42 billion in the UK economy, and he is hinted that a better deal on trade tariffs might be on the table. This visit has taken months of meticulous planning, and authorities are determined to shield President Trump from any protest. He will remain behind the castle walls with no contact with the public. Though on Tuesday night, protesters projected images of Trump and former Fred convicted sex traffickers Jeffrey Epstein onto those walls and was swiftly arrested. There's no room for error on Trump's day with the royal family. Despite 61% of the British public disliking him and many believing he is encouraging the rise in far-right support in the UK. Reporting for GBS TV, I'm Paul M. Minor.
In a tech news, Microsoft and OpenAI have struck a deal to restructure their relationship, though the details aren't set in stone. That should clear the way for the ChatGPT maker to become a for-profit firm. OpenAI wants more freedom to work with other firms beside Microsoft, which has been its main backer. But the Windows maker wants to make sure it keeps access to the startup's AI tech. NVIDIA's latest chip for the Chinese market seemed to be getting a lukewarm response. Some major tech firms there have been opted not to place orders. They say the new chip is seen as expensive for what it does, and the performance lags older model than the US had banned for sale in China. Though they are readily available through grey market channels, Oracle has gone from AI laggard to potential champion.
Just how quickly they've been able to get up the curve and also show it through commitments on the other side is what the big surprise was.
Away from that, the International Atomic Energy Agency has unveiled a first-of-its-kind visitor center at its Cyberdorf laboratory facility in Austria. The massive space showcases how nuclear science is tackling global challenge from food security to ocean protection. The center was inaugurated by Director General Rafael Mariano and Austria's Ambassador Gabriela Sellner. The International Atomic Energy Agency has opened a new visitor center at Cyberdorf Laboratories in Austria, offering the public access to its scientific work for the first time. The facility features interactive exhibit on nuclear application in health, agriculture, energy, and environmental protection.
My idea, my dream, is that this will be a place where students of all levels, from kids to researchers, are going to be coming here. First, and this is the gateway to understand what we do. And we are planning also to have and to give the opportunity for dignitaries and your presidents, heads of state, ministers to come here and also to see the labs, because frankly, this is a unique, I would say, chain in the Nobel family of UN international institutions that are at the service of people.
Director General Rafael Grossi led the inauguration, joined by diplomats and Austrian officials. He said the center brings the agency's mission of Atoms for Peace and Development to life and highlighted its role in promoting peaceful nuclear technology.
In times of almost unprecedented skepticism towards both science and multilateral cooperation, this educational mission is crucial.
Austria's Ambassador Gabriela Sellner praised the initiative as a step towards greater transparency and public engagement. Funded by the United States, the center is open to students, researchers, and visitors. Guided tours may include access to nearby labs focused on food safety, pest control, and nuclear security. The agency says the facility will serve as a platform for outreach and education. Reporting for GBS TV, I'm Ibrahim Said. Now, shifting the focus to the Middle East, the Israeli military says it is opening an additional evacuation route from Gaza City for the next 48 hours, urging Palestinians to move south as it escalates operation against thousands of Hamas fighters. However, with hundreds of thousands of civilians still sheltering in the city, many remain reluctant to leave, citing fear of permanent displacement, danger along evacuation route, and harsh conditions, including shortage of food and shelter in the south.
In Gaza City, leaflets fall from the sky where below children and their families are gathering, each paper with a message from Israeli army to evacuate.
Where should I go? I am not leaving. Where should I go? There is nowhere to go.
The evacuation message comes as Israel launches its long-expected ground offensive. Not far away, Ismail Abu Adwa also picks up one of those leaflets as his family mourns the loss of his oldest son in the nearby airstrike.
Where is the safety? Where should we go? If we went south, we are dead. And if we stayed here, we are dead.
And while many are reluctant to follow the order to leave on Wednesday, Israel announced that it will open an additional route for fleeing Palestinians over the next 48 hours. Along this coastal road in central Gaza, many are making that journey to other areas of the enclave, while the Gaza Media Office estimates that 190,000 people have headed to south and 350,000 people have moved to the central and western area of the city. While in Israel, protests were underway on the streets of Jerusalem as demonstrators demanded the release of hostages and an end to the war.
Demonstrating here in order to convince our crooked government to stop the war and release the hostages. Very simple. And also to release our country from a crooked regime that is destroying the country.
The accord comes at the same time that the EU Commission proposed sanctions against Israel over the Gaza war, which included suspending free trade arrangement on Israeli goods.
The aim is not to punish Israel. The aim is to improve the humanitarian situation in Gaza. All member states agree that the situation in Gaza is untenable. The war needs to end. The suffering must stop and all hostages must be released.
The foreign policy chief also proposing a package of sanctions on the two Israeli ministers as well as violent settlers and Hamas members. Reporting for GBS TV, I'm Paul Ermine.
And now, the United Nations Security Council has anonymously adopted a resolution requesting the Secretary General to appoint a senior representative with a mandate to support cooperation to locate and return missing Kuwaiti and third country nationals and missing Kuwaiti property. United Kingdom is the pen holder of the resolution. James Kariuki, UK's Deputy Permanent Representative to the UN, welcomed the support shown by Council members, as Davis Karani reports.
The result of the voting is as follows. The draft resolution received 15 votes in favor. The draft resolution has been adopted unanimously as Resolution 2792.
The implementation of this resolution will support positive progress to resolve the fate of the missing individuals in Kuwait.
The United Kingdom welcomes the unanimous support shown by Council members for this resolution. We welcome the Council's decision to authorise a senior representative with a mandate to support cooperation to locate and return missing Kuwaiti and third country nationals and missing Kuwaiti property.
He also stated that it will further build and deepen trust between Iran and Kuwait.
We hope the implementation of this resolution will support positive progress to resolve the fate of the missing. In doing so, we hope it will further build and deepen trust between Iraq and Kuwait.
For his part, Acting Representative of the United States, John Kelly, told the Council that his country continues to support specific international organizations and their activities that make America safer and more secure.
The United States continues to support specific international organizations and their activities that make America safer and more secure. We expect, however, that international organizations, including the UN, contain costs and share the funding burden more fairly among members.
He also stressed that the new mechanism authorized yesterday is streamlined and time-bound in line with the political realities in the region and Trump's administration approach on UN resourcing.
The new mechanism authorized today is streamlined and time-bound in line with the political realities in the region and the Trump administration's approach to UN resourcing. We will continue to press for responsibility when it comes to length, cost, and clear end states for this and other UN missions.
Davis Kalani, GBS News.
It is time for us to take another break here. Keep your feedback streaming into all our social media platforms at GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. We'll be right back with the sport montage.
Anza wiki yako kwa njia sahihi kwa GBS Jumatatu.
Niko nawe hadi midai ya saa 4 asubuhi. Kwanza niseme asante kwa kuzidi kufuatilia na kutazama vipindi vyetu ambavyo huwa tunakuandalia hapa ndani ya GBS TV Jumatatu. People are now seeing the money that have been given to church as a bribe.
Jiunge nasi kila Jumatatu asubuhi kuanzia saa 1:30.
Nimesikia mwenzangu akifanya hesabu hapo ya vile ambavyo miungano zitakuwa. Ruto is going to fail whether with Raila or without Raila.
Kuna mahali anakosea akisema ati Raila na Ruto wataungana. Hakuna kuungana iko hapo, ndugu yangu, acha nikwambie ukweli.
Hadithi za kunoga.
Ukiangalia Wakenya, wananchi wa Kenya, pia hao maisha yao imedhulumiwa kwa kuongezwa kwa taxes, ziko very high taxes. So the statement by the Rigathi Gachagua is just statement ya kumcheck that we can see you we can see between the lines.
Na mazungumzo yenye nguvu ya kukuletea utulivu kwa wiki yako.
Ati Raila ataingia UDA.
Hiyo ni ndoto. Mimi sasa yote nasema hawezi, sababu nasema hivi mheshimiwa, ikiwa Raila
itakuwa, mimi naona itakuwa
hadi saa 4 za asubuhi kwa majadiliano ya kusisimua.
Mheshimiwa Rais William Samoei Ruto ajue ya kwamba sasa yeye ni president wa Kenya. Sio mambo ya kufanyia wana Kenya mzaha. Kupoteza biashara kwa siku moja katika CPD, nafikiria ni jambo ambalo ni rais.
Usikose, ingia kwenye GBS TV. Anza Jumatatu yako kwa kusudi.
If the government does not spend, my brother, hakuna maendeleo inaonekana, hakuna barabara zinatengenezwa, hakuna dawa kwa hospitali, my friend, economies will not grow.
Tuonane panapo majaliwa yake Mwenyezi Mungu.
GBS Jumatatu, palipo mjadala wa leo na mwelekeo wa kesho.
Where you go, I'll go. Where you stay, I stay. Where you move, I move. I will follow you.
Welcome to our Bible story.
Are you ready? Great! Today we are going to learn about a story about a widow of Zarephath. And he said unto him, Thou hast answered right. This do, and thou shalt live.
Before I conclude, I would like us to read and see what is the will of the Father towards each and every one of us.
Children, as you listen to that story, what have you been able to learn?
And remember, this is Kids Mind, the Bible story. And as usual, this is where we learn, we laugh, and we explore.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back. It's time for your most favorite segment of the show, the sports news. Let's get sporty. Botswana's sprint sensation and Olympic gold medalist Letsile Tebogo is back in action at the World Athletic Championship in Tokyo. After a shaky start to his campaign, Tebogo is through to the 200-meter semi-finals but is not yet entirely pleased with the performance. Here is more on what happened in his heat and the bold promise he's making ahead of the next round.
Tebogo will be really smarting.
Botswana Olympic champion Letsile Tebogo advanced to the 200-meter semi-finals at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, clocking 20.18 seconds behind world champion Noah Lyles.
Tebogo, well, there was a lot going on.
But despite the result, Tebogo was highly self-critical, calling it a terrible race, especially around the curve.
I would say I'm happy, but I've run a terrible race. First time running a 20.1 in the championship, but I'm happy with how I've executed the race. First time running a late 9, didn't know how to do it. Coach just left me alone, just do your thing and just make sure you're into the semi-final.
running from lane 9 and still feeling the effects of a false start in the 100-meter final. Tebogo admitted his post-race jog was a way to reset both mentally and physically. He had not competed in 2 days and needed to spark himself back into form.
It's just having 2 days of rest. Automatically the body starts to shut down. Yesterday when I did the shakeout, it was quite fun, but deep down the body wasn't responding to what I wanted to do, and I just had to force it over and over. So I believe with this rounds coming up, I still have to force it and try and dig deep into to get to the motivation that I want coming to this championship.
With the semi-finals today and the final tomorrow, Tebogo made his intentions clear. He promised a stronger performance, saying it will be a greater curve for him.
First of all, it will be a great curve for me, because for you to win the race, you need a great curve. You need that one last 100 meters to just push the body, and it's going to be a lot different from me.
The message is clear. He's just getting started. Elvis Muyodi, GBS News.
Indeed, it's just getting started. And now back home, history has once again been written in Machakos as Governor Wavinya Cup makes a comeback, this time bigger and better. Governor Wavinya Ndeti has today officially unveiled the 3rd edition of countrywide football tournament, drawing an impression from 650 teams across all 40 wards. The event is not just about football, but also about transforming lives and empowering communities.
Thousands gathered at Kisooni Catholic Church ground in Mubuni Northward as Governor Wavinya Ndeti launched the 3rd edition of the Wavinya Cup. The tournament, running from September 20th to December 13th, has attracted 650 teams across all 40 wards.
Today I'm very excited as I officially launch this 3rd edition of the Governor Wavinya Cup, a county-wide soccer tournament that my government has proudly organized since 2022. This year, the tournament promises to be bigger and better. We shall have a record of 650 teams drawn from across the 40 wards. This edition is special because it goes beyond football under the theme Nurturing Talent, Greening Our Future and Empowering Generations. We have introduced new activities and inventions to enrich the program, including training, scouting, sports clinics led by legends across the world, mental health awareness sessions, ensuring our youth are strong both on the pitch and also mentally.
Governor Wavinya highlighted past success stories, including players who have advanced to local and international leagues, and announced new additions this year: scouting clinics, tree planting drives, and mental health campaigns. She reaffirmed her administration support for grassroots football.
A good number of highly talented young men and women have already been scouted by both local and international clubs, and a clear demonstration that Machakos County is indeed a home for talents. 12 young players secured opportunities to play in different tiers in Kenyan football.
So mimi nikakuja kama player wa River Queens through your Governors Cup, nikakuwa scouted, nikapelekwa Kenya Police Bullets ambayo inacheza KWPL, Kenya Women Premier League. Huko nimebeba ligi mara 2. Ni big achievements kwangu juu kama saa hii najipiga support, napiga maparo support. Mademu wetu join ball, you Governors Cup si about boys, football si about boys peke yake, hadi mademu tuchezeni ball.
Reporting for GBS TV, I'm Paul M. Minor.
And after that story, we have come to the end of our news bulletin. It's always a pleasure having you on board. Let's do this again next time, same place, same channel. My name is Said Ibrahim, and our sign language interpreter tonight has been Alan Kiama. We live after a proverb. A wise man from the mountain called Mr. Mambo said, if you want to see the end, look at the beginning. Have a nice time. Good night.